Ho there, strangers. What is up, everybody? Thank you for joining me. This is Jay Dumont, and we are playing Serpent in the Staglands. This is a new Let's Play I'm doing that is going to take the place of Kenshi, probably, on my channel. Still going to upload Let's Ball with College Hoops, maybe some Pathfinder Kingmaker. But this is the new Let's Play, so let's get right into it. Check now for updates. I already did, so I'll skip that.
My lord, Erline, I pray that a strong wind might hasten the ship bearing this letter, for it carries dire news. My host has warned me of a curse that will befall our Moon Lord on the longest night. Be on your guard for spies and false friends. Distrust the servants of lesser gods. Cloak the Moon Lord as you can. But I fear he will find no sanctuary in the Staglands. I will follow this letter west when I am released. I hesitate to reveal more until I arrive in Corum, but take heed. The Carrion God welcomes mortals and gods alike.
Uh-oh. The Carrion God. Alright, so this is a CRPG, real-time with pause combat. You guys know what it is. Try to, there we go, better. Hopefully we don't get any problems editing these videos. I have my auto pause settings when someone dies, when an enemy is in sight, and when a trap is detected. So let's do it. The gods were formed and you claim the moon as your dominion. Which god did you ally with? How about the god of forging who is wrapped in flames? No, the god of spring who nurtures everything else. Seems like a good god to ally with. When you peered through the clouds one night and saw a small fleet of boats tossing in the rocky waters near the coast of the Staglands, lost and despairing, why did you reach down and part the clouds so your moonlight could guide their way to safety? Well, I would not have wished for so many to die when I had the power to change their fate. I'm a good god. Playing a good god. When you first set foot in the Staglands and showed yourself to the new settlers, what animal shape did you take on? A great white-tailed fox. Sounds good. I don't know what these questions actually do. And the Zana that you seduced after a winter solstice festival, what gift did you leave behind as you slipped away from her as the moon disappeared into the dawn? How about a singing wisp? So she'll always remember the night we had. Oh, book is closed. I don't know what any of that did. We're going to learn together. On here. Erline says, My Lord Nikolai, what's happening? Why are you still here? Have you laid here all night in such a state? Erline, finally. I'm glad to see you can stand. Are you continuing your celebrations? I'd invite you to assume a mortal form and share a cup of kafara, but I believe you drank all of mine last night as you masqueraded amongst my villagers. Were you turned down by all of the pretty maidens? Have done, Erline. My visit is of a most serious nature. Something has happened. Forgive me, my lord. Pray, tell me your tale. As I was casting spells to open my portal to return to the moon, I found myself blocked as if my portal was unlinked. I laid here most of the night, ethereal, trying every spell I knew. That is grave indeed. Do you have any suspicions regarding who might have closed your portal? In my stupor, I dreamt of a dame in a cloak with green eyes. She was reading my past from a tome, as if she was reading a eulogy. Could this be a prank in bad taste? Yes, but mayhap done at the hands of another god? This cannot be the work of a mortal. Possible, but I know of no one who would do such a thing. My portal was an ancient gift and not easily tampered with. Even more serious then. My brother is a scribe to the counselors, you know, being skilled with letters, and has told me some things, small things that seem odd. A missing counselor, spirits pouring from their chasms, insults traded between races and places of power. And when is the mortal power struggle not filled with bad tidings? Nay, you were right, this must be a matter of gods. Aye, and mayhap I am jumping at my own shadow, but how can I aid you, my lord? I cannot open your portal to get home, and without a better guard than my scroll-bound acolytes, I cannot create any real sanctuary here. As dangerous as it may be for you to travel in mortal form, for you know you can be slain as such, I fear it is your only way of finding any answers. You know more of this land than I, as my visits have been more pleasure-bent than observant. I'll trust to your wisdom. What form would my lord take while traveling in the Staglands as a mortal? Let me consider the choices. Alright, so we're making a character. So there's different races, I believe. Passaran, Amethyvian, Lakovinian, Territorith, and Varukov. Homeland, the Lakovinians inhabit an archipelago south of the mainland. Their islands range from exotic lush forests and marshes to rocky mountains teeming with iron and minerals. Their islands support wheat production, farming, and livestock, but it's cramped, making their expanse into the mainland and cause of their war efforts for additional land inevitable. They're a lawless people without a centralized government, but share a common culture, compromising of houses, separating island ownership, and doing trade with one another. Homeland. The Taratian Desert lies north of the Spirelands and ends at the base of the Sky Peaks, the northern tip of the mainland marked by the tallest mountain peaks known on Vol. They enjoy their baked delicacies, tea, ale, and are able to lavishly and profitably use their abundant spices to make their cuisine very unique from other mainland regions, which makes their spice trade routes a point of interest for those looking for exotic goods. The northern kingdoms lack lumber, so they have land routes west across the northern reach to the mainland and recently south to the Staglands, where they've established a trade outpost in Rumen. Due to long dry seasons, their divided kingdoms have led to expansion to southern traders at the expense of their distinct clan's pride. But without a central government to rule over them, the dominion of clans and a naturally fortified territory have led to a time of general peace and capitalistic economy for the past 1,000 years. Territories are known to be taciturn and unyielding to outsiders, with burnt orange hair and triangular ears. They are fierce fighters and notoriously loyal to their company. The Varukov. A few decades after the settling of the Staglands Peninsula by the Amethyvians, the Varukovs surface in the mountainous region known as Emerald Metalis after having thrived underground for hundreds of years. Their present state has left them without any homeland to call their own on the surface, but their kingdom continues to flourish below ground. Though their minds are open for trading in Emerald Metalis, the political decisions of their houses do not allow open entrance to their underground kingdom. What stories they give are of beautiful crystallized domes where the king lavishly sits in his seat of power, and an expansion of great shimmering tunnels that leads to great proud houses that defend their city against underground invaders. The new generations of Varukov still maintain their gray-toned skin and white eyes of their ancestry, and continue the culture of being proud, practical, and methodical thinkers. Homeland. Passarans hail from the lush forested northeast mainland, an area under control of the Passaran matriarchs and their expansive families. Some of the greatest hunters on the mainland can be found in their ranks, and hunting monsters is a common entry to higher-ranking society in their culture. Matriarchal law exacts dual justice, intention and crime divine with clerical spells. Their harsh justice often leads to exile, and Pasaran outcasts often find shelter west or in the southern islands. The Pasaran exiles that have settled in the Staglands the past 100 years have done well for themselves, prized for their strength and hunting prowess, and are marked by the black feathers growing from their heads and their ever-judging, opaque pupils. Homeland. Amathebia, original home of the Amathebians, have now settled the Staglands, is surrounded by geothermal vapors, creating a purple fog. Go away. Go away, I say. Creating a purple fog that has kept invaders out if any ever attempted the voyage that far south or unknowingly dwell in their region. They primarily fish their plentiful waters and are expert boatwrights, chemists, and engineers. With long peace times, they are one of the most advanced races, and their achievements include longboats and the materials for the most corrosive elixirs and healing cures on Vol. What militarized effort they have had has been to suppress groups of Amathebians that have seceded to take land as their own, and the monstrosities that come from the waters. Amathebians are characterized by their purple-tinted skin and web-like ears, which is the result of the watery, purple-fogged homeland. They tend to be an easygoing and open people and welcome new experiences. Alright, we're gonna be... Go away, man. Go away. Taskbar. We're going to be an Amathebian, so the name is going to be, we'll take the name of Matthias. We'll be this guy. Alright, so now there's different classes. Come on, man. There we go. Celestials. I will be right back. And we're back. Alright. So Celestials are devoted to the Moon Lord Nikolai, who saved the lives of several Amathebians. The purple-skinned shorelings tend to focus their mystic arts into the Illumination School. Start your journey with 1 point in Fearful Light, an illumination spell in grade 1 that forces enemies to flee for an extended duration. Must have 1 point in Occult or Intelligence to use skill. Amathebians promote peace and prosperity above conflict and war, instilling civic duties and the benefits of benevolence to their neighbors and their children. Start your journey with 1 skill point in Rally, a combat skill buffing your armor class of your entire party at the start of combat. In the golden age of Amathebia, engineers tinkered with small, portable, explosive liquids, and many have become masters of throwing them with speed and accuracy in defense. Start your journey with a 0.2 permanent increase in attack speed when attacking with an elixir. I think the Unshaken sounds pretty good. So let's go ahead and try that.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, me neither. There, Alexa. Never mind. Alright, so let's find out what the stats do. Intelligence bolsters most all spell potency in combination with your character level and spell level, increasing one or more of the following: damage output, hit chance, range or duration between loops. See spells for specific details. 1 point in Rally. Dexterity increases both initial casting speed for all your spells and your natural attack speed. Alright. Strength determines hit damage with melee and ranged weapons, giving a natural bonus to hit damage. Occult blocks magical attacks and increases potency of spells that pertain to buffing yourself or your party, shields, or spell resistances. Increasing your occult or intelligence will unlock new grades of spells. Perception augments your natural hit chance for spells in combat. Your hit chance is rolled against the target's dodge chance. Okay. Must have 1 point in dexterity or strength to use. So how about dexterity and intelligence? Bolsters most all spell potency in combination with your character level and spell level. Yes, we'll get spell potency. Alright, so this is our dude, I guess. An unshaken Amethyvian. After character creation, use your character sheet to allocate your skill points. You want companions to protect you and give you consequence. You can certainly hire mercenaries to join you once you depart the temple, but you can also create some additional avatars now to accompany you for the time being. I'll seek out companions as I may. As you like, my lord. I can offer the services of my nephew Wilhelm and our strongest acolyte Catalina. If you wish to engage Wilhelm, you'll find him wandering about this floor. Catalina is out in the courtyard working in the gardens. Pray send them back to the temple when you can, as they are both important to the temple and I'd rather fond of Wilhelm especially. Mayhap they will prefer my company. I will do as I will, Erline. As you wish, my lord. What's ours is yours, indeed. There is a store master in the western wing. He can sell you some supplies to start your journey. I'll give you some emeralds, but I can't take too many from the temple purse without arousing suspicion. I wish I could vouch for every member of this temple, but I think it's safer to trust no one, which means I must live with the knowledge that I'm sending you out in the world with little besides your wits and a few gems. Don't berate yourself, Erline. Your aid has been invaluable. What I can do for you is gather a disguise. If anyone asks, for now say you are a merchant, and then when you're ready to leave, meet me outside the doors in the courtyard. We shouldn't risk being seen together now that you're in a mortal form. Anyone with enough knowledge to know of your portal must know that you'd come here first, and spies might be lurking in the shape of temple visitors. Very well, we'll meet then. Alright, cool. So here we are. Let's go find Wilhelm. Explore the temple a bit. Shelves of books detailing the history of different lords and great houses of the northern Territorith realms. Without more noble insight, you don't find anything of use. A disorganized number of volumes that pertain to anything from sheep herding, species of creatures to the east, and agricultural studies. You gather a landowner must have browsed the selection. Shelves of books about the mechanics of woodcraft. You find volumes which detail fishing boats to wagons, though nothing of importance to you now. Then we shall move on. Shelves of book related to plants, flowers, and edible fungi that prosper in the Staglands. Without more insight into the subject, thumbing through the pages doesn't really interest you. What is in here, pray tell? Writing tools and a torch. Shelves of book pertaining to bronze craft, providing insight into anything from agricultural supplies and craft tools to simple weapons. You don't find anything that could help your task. Do we have any skill points? No. I shall open every dresser and take everything. Shelves of simple volumes that are covered in pictures and diagrams that tell a variety of stories. Some are historical legends and other local justices and heroic stories and are likely entertaining for illiterate settlers, though without more insight, you can't do anything. A dusty book. Shelves of book relating to Lacovinian scholars, research of longboats. You imagine this information is quite valuable. Pray tell. I'm bogged down in a sap spill. What ho, Lumen Akatalari. Greetings, visitor. My duties do not allow time to converse. Excuse me. Very well. The table includes some spools of braided sinew, dried leathers of various sizes and stack sizes, and many sheets of parchment. A well-used owl is placed on the top of a stack of heavily manuscripted stories about the history of Lumen Fortin. You consider You should consider that you should have given Erline more work to keep him busy, but succeed the art is well inked. Right. Alright, get out of there. Where is Wilhelm? Wilhelm, I have need of you. Give me what's in here. Hey stranger, hands off. Listen buddy, you don't know who you're messing with. The freaking moon god. Storemaster, hello. I'm in charge of the temple goods. I can sell you some supplies if you're in need. The festival wiped out most of my stock, but I can show you what I have. Have to take a look. What are we looking at? Herb kit. I have 250 emeralds. Herbology kit. Herbology levels required for use. Potion of healing. Elixir vials. Elixir packs.
A vial is a small glass or plastic vessel or bottle, often used to store medication as liquids, powders,
Yes.
or capsules. They can also be used as scientific sample vessels. For instance, an auto-sampler device is an analytical chromatography.
Alexa, stop. Thank you for that description of what a vial is. I appreciate it greatly. Edible heart, a nutrient and protein heavy muscle. This heart is a deep reddish brown, has a thin layer of fat on top. The entirety of it is edible, though it's recommended to at least sear it prior to consumption. Either way, it will provide a small regenerative boost. Alright, this is fungi and stuff. We have a kitchen knife. Cast iron blunt knife used for cutting food. It's a single-edged blade that looks brittle and prone to bending. Alright, let's maybe get this iron scepter. 2d6. Attack speed 3.6. A short iron scepter with a large heavy ball at the top of the hilt. The ball has 5 pointed facets jetting outward, allowing for additional piercing on top of the already heavy-hitting bludgeoning damage that can be done with this weapon. The thick iron in the hilt can be used for ample protection against oncoming blows if skillfully used to block. Heavy weapon. Camping rations. A wool pouch of camping rations sealed with wrapped. The expendable items inside are enough to get any adventurer back on their feet after some time of rest and eating. The contents are usually fire starter, flint and short iron rod for generating sparks, and a small folded bundle of small, slow-burning oiled cloth. Lightly salted meats. These skewered duck aren't dried, though defeathered and rubbed with various salts and in well-sealed wrappings for intended use over a fire, already attached to a spit. The thick wrappings and salts have hidden the scent of the meat considerably. Wooden canteen of spiced wine. A wooden sealed canteen with a wax-sealed mark of Dranterne, a southern island winery. The contents within are heavily spiced wine, customary of these cold regions, of earthy tones and honey. Designed for heating in mugs over a fire. Leather flask of water, a small simple leather flask filled with drinking water, corked. The water was likely boiled first to make this easily usable by any traveler to these foreign lands. Kaffera grounds and thin cloth. The thin cloth is meant to be wrapped over a mug and have the grounds lay atop. Boiled water is then poured over the grounds and into the mug, making an energizing warming beverage. Commonly, the spiced wine is added to the mug first, which when combined make a popular spiced Kaffera beverage. Dry bread. Almost cracker-like, this dry rice and nut-based bread is long-lasting and a heavy source of carbs for energy. Can be eaten separate or combined with the meat provided. Right-click to camp and eat. Alright, so I reckon we only have 50 emeralds, by the way. I reckon where was that? We'll need some camping rations, so we have assalted meat, we have a couple torches and writing tools. This is a small scholarly toolbox filled with various tools for writing. It has a lumen fortin insignia of the Moon Lord engraved on the back. Most writings of books or manuscripts would be done in a monastery such as Fortin, being one of the few places to learn to read and write, and you gather that this box of supplies would be quite valuable for trade despite not having any of the tools used for illuminating a manuscript with flecked gems and powders. The components are an ink vial, Small vial of a combination of a local tree's resin, mineral, and berry dye. The ink is a dark, thick black. Clay vessel, a small carrier for the ink to be poured in for writing. A cut quill, a writing instrument from local wildlife you assume with a pre-cut tip fashioned for writing. A shaving knife, a tiny iron knife used for scraping away errors from the parchment. Various cloths, various wool rags bound together with a thin hemp rope. Many are splotched with inks and smudges, and you know not even a few rags could keep a writer's hand clean from their profession. So I gather this is just valuable for trade. Be right back.